Hey everybody, the Garage Shop. We went on the road, we went to Indianapolis, and we are at the PRI Show. My name's Tim Packman. I gotta tell you, absolutely incredible. The turnout here has been fantastic. Exhibitors, racers, race car drivers. We talked to all kinds of people here, and we're gonna bring that to you now, but I'm gonna tell you, personally, growing up in motorsports, this is amazing to see the energy and the vibe. Motorsports alive and well in America. I'm gonna talk to some of those people and show you why.
You know, I think people are just ready to be back.
The business of racing that's always taken place at PRI, it means more than ever to be in person back here in Indianapolis. So it's been a tremendous success.
PRI lets you showcase all your products. You talk to customers all year long. You don't really have a face-to-face with them, or they don't have the product to look at in their hand. So we like to come and showcase everything, especially if it's something new that they're not familiar with. But it's a good opportunity for the whole industry to see what's new in the industry, see the new innovations, and just try to move it forward for the following year.
And for MPI, PRI Show is the show. I like to look at it in this way. It's the place where I can get in touch with my MPI family. It's the one place where the big dealer and the small kid that start racing go-kart can touch and feel why we created MPI.
I feel like if you don't come to this show and you plan to compete in any type of motorsports, you're behind on the technology, and you'll probably be behind with the shipping, and you're just not going to be on your leaderboard.
Man, I tell you what, I knew how much it means to me to come here by not coming last year. And you know, it just broke my heart last year. And just being here for just 20-some years we've been coming here, it means the world. Like all these guys, all these captive buyers that are walking by all day. You can see so many people in a 2-3 day period, and just can't get this kind of service in this kind of place anywhere else.
If you drive a drag race car or a stock car, you got to watch out. The young ladies and the females are coming up in the sport, and we're going to talk to one young lady full of energy, a drag racer, Alex Taylor, and she was in high school, drove a 68 Camaro to high school, was a race car and her everyday car, and she tells a story how she did, and no one seemed to care.
Oh my gosh, I love PRI. There's always SEMA and then there's PRI, but PRI is just, it's so much more enjoyable for me. It's so racing oriented, obviously, PRI, you know, and so I love coming to the show. It's awesome to be back and then to have my car here this year. It's a brand new car, so super neat.
Talk to the car in a minute. If you're a casual racer out there, what would you recommend racers come to PRI for?
If you're a casual racer, I think you get so much exposure to parts. There's one thing to like go through your internet, you know, search it, or go to your Instagrams and you see the parts, but to come actually be able to turn a cylinder head around in the AFR booth or check out the wheels and see the finishes on those, like it brings things to life, and I think you get a lot of inspiration. So for me, I always like the inspiration that I leave here with, because I see something new that I didn't realize was out there, or I see somebody's project that gives me inspiration. So I think that's the main reason I would come for that.
Speaking of inspiration, who inspired you to do this? I mean, my gosh, it's not someone, you know, talking in school going, hey, I'm gonna go become a drag racer.
So my dad built street rods, came from that side, not necessarily high performance, not drag racing, nothing like that, but I did grow up in the shop, so very hands-on from, you know, just a couple, like in the shop from a couple weeks old. So I always followed my dad around and learned from him and everything. And when I was probably about, it was in 2007, so probably 11 or 12, we traded for the 2007 Drag Week winning car. It was a 67 Camaro that Denny Turgis built, first 7-second street car for Drag Week, Hot Rod Magazine's Drag Week. And so they got this car. I absolutely fell in love with it. Like, it was just the car. We'd been drag racing a little bit, it was nostalgia, but that car made me fall in love with drag racing. And so I crew chiefed for my dad for, you know, probably 2 or 3 years after that before we sold it, and broke my heart when we sold it. And so then when I was 15, we decided to go ahead and build me a car that I could daily drive to high school, 68 Camaro that my mom actually gave me that we built.
Your 68 Camaro
yes, I
was
did.
your daily driver.
Yeah.
And then on the weekend you
went and raced. Yeah, you know, so that's what it
how it
was.
starts.
And so that's just like, it was kind of like a natural progression of a love for the industry. And then like once I had my toes dipped into drag racing, like I love it. So I'm out there like pushing full force with my my dad loves building. And so it's like a great partnership. And so I'm like, can we go racing? And he's like, you know, so I'm like, no, we're going racing. Here's the schedule. And so, but he builds and he loves to be a part of it. So it's great. It works out.
So we're seeing more and more females in drag. Leah Pruitt, the Forest Girls. Why do you think that is? Why do you think more females are getting involved?
I think because they know they can. Like, there's a lot of people that have paved the way. And something I have to credit, like, say my dad, like, I think it's a little bit of being raised a little differently. Like, I have a great appreciation for the fathers who want to get their daughters into it, or maybe not push them into it, I shouldn't say it like that, but where they allow, instead of when, you know, you look back at older times, you know, your daughter was raised to be doing this and that. And so I love seeing those dads that come up to me and they're like, I want to get my daughter, you know, into this. I'm like, just give her the permission and the resources and, you know, guide her along the way. So I think there's a lot of difference in, you know, maybe a little bit older generations that are coming back and seeing that girls can do it too.
So you talk about when you're in school, your friends, male and female,
Yeah.
you told them what you do on the weekend. What was the response you got?
They absolutely do not understand. I came from a football town, so my 68 Camaro in the car or in the parking lot was no different than like their 2011 Hyundai Sonata or something. They absolutely didn't care. It's bright orange. You can't miss it. Loud. And they didn't care.
Right.
Did not care. So it was very weird. You know, people always expect, like, you had to be cool. And I'm like, no, they call me Danica Patrick because they don't even know what drag racing is. It was so
saw
common.
something on TV and that's it.
That was it. So
Perfect.
they didn't know.
So tell us about your car. What is this? You said
Yes.
it's brand new.
So this is my 55 Chevy. It's a full tube chassis car, started to 650. Dad and I started building it at the very end of January, and we had it race ready. There's a little bit we had to do afterwards, but race ready by mid-June. So it was a totally rusted, rotted shell that was it was a full car sitting at the back shop. We pulled it in, cut everything up, caged it and everything. We do everything in-house in the shop. So
So you know it's safe, you know it's good, your
oh
dad's
yeah,
doing it.
trust it.
And the look you have here, you just went with it. You just kind of took the
Absolutely,
natural
we
look.
didn't have time.
Now there it is. That's it.
Oh yeah, so now I love it. Like, this started out where I was like, so my Camaro had a lot of sentimental value. And I was like, I don't want to hurt it, so let's build something that if I did happen to have an unfortunate event and hit a wall or something, like, it's not going to hurt me. I love this car so much now. I'm like, if anything ever happens to it, it's gonna kill me. So.
Well, we wish you continued success. Thanks for talking with us and keep having fun. I can tell by your energy, you must be a lot of fun to be around. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Have a good
Enjoy. Alex Taylor, folks, right there. We've asked everybody, I want to hear from the president, PRI, Dr. Jamie Meyer. Why is it important to come to PRI if you're a racer?
Well, look, this is where the business of racing happens. Now, that sounds really cliche if you've been around PRI for years, but I was thinking about it last night. I got to talk to the NMRA folks at their award ceremony, and 25 years ago, Steve Wolcott made a decision to form the NMRA, and my best friends are Mustang drag racers from that era. And because he made that decision, and because that award show and all those racers are always at PRI, they're my closest friends. They're always my family. And I think at PRI right now, I know there are thousands of best friends coming together and making new friends. So you come to PRI for the community, you'll leave with a lifetime of business.
We're here with Jason Sutton from Furman Power Equipment here at the PRI Show. And first of all, how's the show been for you, and what's it like being back at PRI?
Yeah, it's been really good. You know, we love coming to these shows. I mean, the customers that come to PRI are definitely our demographic. You know, the guys that are into racing are certainly portable generator users. You know, so and the show's been really well attended. I mean, most of the trade shows that we normally go to or we exhibit were shut down for the last year. And so some have come back really strong, and this is one of them.
How important is it for you to be at this show and with the industry? Everybody, anything with wheels is here.
Right.
How important is it for you guys to be here to the racers?
It's super important to us. I mean, we're involved a lot in racing. We actually sponsored a NASCAR car with JJ Yeley at the championship weekend in Phoenix just last month. So we're at King of the Hammers. We do a lot with John Schneider and we follow him around the country in the dirt track racing. So yeah, I mean, we love racing fans.
And with a year off, did you think that maybe the PRI show was going to come back less or more? Did you feel the anticipation of it?
We're really worried. I mean, we do like the National Hardware Show, and we're usually at SEMA and Apex, and so like I said, some of them came back really strong. SEMA was kind of so-so, but the National Hardware Show was almost dead. So yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking to see how the shows are coming back, but I think this is going to be really well attended. I mean, it's Thursday today, and I think Saturday you're going to have a hard time walking through these aisles.
As the vice president of marketing, it's on you to put these together.
That's right.
A lot of work goes into it. Is it worth it in the end?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a great way to get people to know our brand. I mean, we've only been in North America for 6 years under the Furman brand, but in that amount of time, we battle it out between first and second for the volume of portable generators imported to the U.S. So we've grown really, really fast. We've been in Costco for a couple of years, so that's helped people get to know who we are too. But yeah, it's really important for us to be at these events.
So hopefully PRI will put you up to number one.
Well, yeah, we hope so too. Yeah, we hope so too.
Just the good old boys. Oh, hey, how you doing? Hey, here at PRI, a lot of big stars. If you recognize this, Dukes of Hazzard, Bo Duke, John Schneider, guess who we sat down and talked with? His enthusiasm and energy for what he does and his love of motorsports is incredible. Take a listen to John Schneider, Bo Duke. I'm telling you, he knows what's going on. All right, we're here at PRI. I'm walking around. All of a sudden, I see this guy. He's got all these people following him. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Bo from Dukes of Hazzard. John Schneider, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
What brings you here to PRI?
Horsepower, steering, suspension, welding, generators. Actually, we're here for. We use these generators exclusively at the studio.
Furman, yep.
And they have kept us going through Hurricane Ida. And through our racing, so that's what we have on our double car hauler, and we're here to show them some support, but also to look around, because we're making another movie. We did Stand On It, we did Poker Run. The next one is called Double or Nothing, and the cars get increasingly badder in a good way.
And more expensive?
In a good way. Yeah.
You want to go faster, you need more money.
Exactly. Well, in the movie world, all we really want to open the hood and have people go, whoa. Because we already have a pretty cool car. Here, I'll show you. Looking right there.
Very nice.
So there's our car. We have the only two T-top Challengers, as far as I know, anywhere.
So you're Mopar.
So we're going to have another one.
You're
think?
Totally Mopar.
You think?
Oh, that's all. So
yeah.
talk about
what's that?
Okay, so you want to see a cool one diagonally behind. This is our car at the garage shop. It's right behind your court. Right.
That car is right over there.
Diagonally over there. We want you to come in.
I want to come see it.
You have to come see it. But
absolutely.
We took this to Bonneville Salt Flats and set records with it. Yeah.
Love that. What's in there?
Really cool engine.
Really cool engine. Really cool. It's an RC. It's an RC engine with horsepower.
So, Dukes of Hazzard, iconic. I grew up with it. And good old boys, you hear that, first thing you think of is Dukes of Hazzard.
Just a good old boy.
Exactly,
yeah.
Yep. And you have a singing career, and you're racing yourself.
Yeah, my wife and I are racing open wheel modified.
How's that?
It's great. It's a lot of fun. It's I need to get better, much better. So we're going to go to Boyd Speedway week after next and just do laps.
Testing.
In our cars. Yeah, just go. Because of our schedule, it's not an excuse, but because of our schedule, we wind up going to a race, talking to people, rushing to get in the car to go do hot laps, and there just hasn't really been any time to get any time. So we're going to do that because I want to compete out there. I don't want to be in the way.
Sure.
I want to compete. I want to win. But right now, that's just impossible.
So you say about competing and driving, back in the Dukes of Hazzard, how many of those in-car stunts were you involved with?
A lot, but no jumps.
We
didn't jump then. In the new movies, I jumped. So I jumped this car. In Stand On It, we had a dear friend of ours, James Smith. He jumped the car over the river. In Poker Run, I jumped it over the lake, and in the next one, I'm going to jump it. I'm going to try to get like 150, 175 feet.
So you're like an Evel Knievel on 4 wheels.
With a little more safety. So I have the same safety precautions in this car that I have in the race car. So we got the full cage and all that stuff, but also the 6-point harness and the joy of seating.
Yeah, Randy LaJoy.
Randy LaJoy. Wonderful, what do we call it? It's not a seat, it's a containment.
Test.
Yeah, I mean it is a seat, but
Right.
it's just great.
Driver containment.
And I've driver containment seat. With the Hans device and with all that kind of stuff. And that's why I'm going to jump the car further, because now that I have raced and I have hit a wall and broken a couple of ribs,
Oh yeah, you're
then
in.
I'm like, I'm not timid
Right.
anymore.
I've done this before. We're good.
Well, yeah, I've done it before. But there's a big difference when you do a movie. You're going for maybe 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds. You're doing something really cool, but it's very brief. It's not lap after lap after lap. So I'm really, really enjoying the dirt track racing. Love it. Love the people. Love the fans that show up. But we're back in the pits, and it's so great to have people who say, we do this because of Dukes of Hazzard. So those are the people I want to stop disappointing, because they expect me to be the best one out there. And I ain't.
Yeah.
Uncle Jesse.
Yeah. Uncle Jesse.
I ain't yet.
Speaking of the show, when people come up and they just go, oh my gosh, and they get all excited and you talk with them, what's that like for you? I mean, the show's been off the air for how many years?
Oh, long time.
Yeah,
Long
a few decades,
time.
and people still see you and
It's
identify.
great. No, it's great. What's really great, though, is when people say they saw Stand On It or Poker Run, because we own those.
Yes.
So that's our franchise. And it steps right out of Dukes of Hazzard. I basically play Duke Marietta. So I'm kind of playing me, who played Bo. And,
So you took the last name and put it
yeah.
in there. Very good, clever.
Yeah, so it's
nice
pretty,
segue.
it's pretty great. But it's terrific, especially, we've got people who are your age and people who are like 6 who watch the Dukes of Hazzard because of you.
It's still cool.
And they still think it's cool. And I don't think there's another television show really out there
No.
from the 70s and 80s that anybody 6 years old today would bother spending 5 minutes watching.
Even if you have the lunchbox. You guys have
Right.
the lunchbox?
I just signed one a minute ago.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, thanks for talking with us.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it. We look forward to seeing you stop over and see the car.
I'm gonna come
And
look.
thanks for being part of racing.
You
I
got
think
it.
it's awesome.
I love it.
Continued
I've
success.
always been a car nut. That's the thing. My dad did automobile upholstery.
Oh, okay.
Had a shop. He had a shop called Bell Service in Mount Kisco, New York. My mother was the first person I ever knew that took the air cleaner off, the top of the air cleaner off, and turned it upside down to make it sound better and get a little bit more spit. So I come from a long, long line of motorheads. My grandfather on my mother's side, who I never met, and she really never met him either. He died when she was 2. Had a souped-up truck and was passing someone in Sanford, Florida in 1934. Got in a wreck. It didn't turn out well, but what that tells me is that the bloodline on both sides of my family, we're all about go fast, go faster, right?
Well, good luck to you on going fast and faster, and stay away from those walls. Okay.
But you got to get close.
Close. John Schneider, Bo Duke, go get this movie, Stand On
Stand
It.
on it, Poker Run.
New one.
Coming soon is Double or Nothing. Go to johnschneiderstudios.com and get you one of those movies. I promise you're going to like it.
Perfect. Well, that wraps up our first episode from PRI here in Indy for the Garage Shop. Hey, subscribe, folks. Hit that little subscribe button. We got a lot of great things coming up. More things here with the Dodge Daytona. We're going to be talking roadsters, streamliners, salt flats. So stay tuned. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.